Hi, and welcome back to Cooking with MoWino. Cheers. And I really should be saying happy birthday. Today's episode is a celebration of Julia Child, whose birthday was this past weekend. And because the weekend was just hustle and bustle and busy, we are celebrating a couple of days late, but still cheering the great Julia Child. I'm actually making one of her favorite dishes that I have never actually had before or even heard of before I started Googling to try to find some of her recipes that I have cooked before. This is called chicken Waterzooi, and it's very, very simple to make. You've already seen the ingredient board and the prepping, but now we're just going to put it basically all in a pot and let it simmer in French wine, also known as Vermouth. So here we go. We have, first of all, I should say the traditional recipe is taking a full chicken and cutting it up. But you know what? I have a whole bunch of chicken breasts in my freezer because it was a huge sale at the store. So we're going to do it with chicken breast. And because of that, I have, by using the chicken breast, I'm reducing the recipe what would normally go to parallel to the size of a full chicken. So anyway, here we go. So I have a very deep saute fry pan, and what I'm going to do is take my vegetables that you saw prepped, all in matchbook shapes. So matchsticks, I should say, matchsticks. So we have some beautiful leeks. We also have onions. Help if I get a spoon. We have celery. We have heirloom, beautiful, fresh carrots from the market. One tablespoon of chopped garlic. Okay, so now, because I reduced this amount, I'm doing this all in the pan, but traditionally, because you have so many vegetables, you would put them in a big pot, and or a bowl, I should say, and mix them all up. I'm just going to do it all here in the pan, make it easy. So we've mixed up our julienne vegetables. I am now going to season them with some white pepper, and I'm putting it in my hand because this comes out really fast. I don't know what it is, but I have ruined several dishes with too much white pepper. Pink Himalayan salt. Some fresh, well not fresh, store-bought dried tarragon. And I'm going to take 1 capful, sprinkle it all around. I'm just going to stir it again so that the pepper and the salt sort of mix around, because I think my tarragon was everywhere. And now I have my chicken breasts that I got on sale. I have washed, dried, and salt and peppered them. And I am literally just going to nestle them right here on top of our vegetables. Fits perfectly here in our pan. And now this is how simple it is. We're going to take some vermouth. For a whole chicken, there was about 1.5 cups. That's exactly what's in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put about half, so 3/4 of a cup. And I'm going to add some store-bought low-sodium chicken broth. We are on 154 days into our stay-at-home, stay safe, save lives pandemic phase 2. And so I can't keep up with making so much chicken broth. I had to buy it throughout the pandemic. So now I'm going to add some chicken broth. I'm just sort of eyeballing it based on the level in the pan. I would say I added about a good cup. Now we're going to bring it to a simmer, and then we're going to put a lid on it, and we're going to let it braise until it's done, and then we'll go into our second step, which will make it a classic Julia Child dish. Happy birthday, Julia. Cheers. Now that our chicken is simmering in the julienne matchstick of vegetables and vermouth and chicken broth, we're going to put a lid on it and let it slowly simmer, braise actually, for about 25 to 30 minutes before we check on it. And I can just tell you right now, the aromas in here are phenomenal. We need smell-o-vision. Welcome back. Our chicken has simmered now for a half an hour, and it smells divine. I mean, I just have to tell you, we need smell-o-vision. It smells awesome. So now this is where the art and beauty of Julia Child's cooking is taking place. So I'm going to take out my chicken pieces and put them on a plate set aside. Now remember, the traditional recipe calls for chicken parts, and we're using chicken breasts. Okay. Now what we are going to do is strain our liquid, because we need to get all our vegetables out of the pan. Yeah, good. See. Now it's funny because these are all cut fancy in matchstick pieces, but if you were making a good chicken soup, you would have cut these like in big raw chunks. Okay, just gonna push down any excess liquid out of the vegetables. Take this one piece here. So now we're going to put our basting liquid back into our pot. The chef is going to have a little glass of wine. And now we're going to work on the magic. Cheers. Okay, so we have a lovely base of our chicken broth, and it smells divine. Chicken broth, the seasonings, vermouth, and everything. Now here we go. So we have heavy cream, cornstarch, and egg yolks. Now, Mo does not like eggs, so this is a big deal. All for Julia. Okay, we have our warm chicken broth that is perfectly seasoned. And now we are going to put in our egg mixture, whisking little at a time. Making it a beautiful color and thickening it with the cream. But we want to make sure our eggs don't curdle. This is absolutely beautiful. Now the traditional recipe calls for some fresh chopped parsley. However, we're going to variate from that because I have a beautiful growing oregano plant and a thyme plant and mint. So we are going to take a collection of a little bit of every great fresh herb I have out in the garden. And we're going to add that to our broth. Okay, I think we have a great consistency. We're going to put our vegetables back in. looks divine. And now we're going to add our chicken back in. Now normally I would say get all the pan juices, but there are no pan juices here. Whoops! Just gonna turn every piece over so it gets this luscious sauce. Okay, now we are going to bring this up to temperature with a low flame, and we are going to have a lovely happy birthday Julie Child chicken Waterzooi. Here is our finished product, simmering away, and I did a very untraditional thing, mostly because we love peas. I just threw in some frozen peas, and it is delightful. Our chicken is tender and done. Our vegetables are there. And we are serving this with boiled potatoes, which is the authentic way, which have been done. And I think we're going to cut them up and put them in, and instead of having them on the side, just put it all together in this beautiful sauce. Cheers! Happy birthday, Julia!